What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the last part of Pain Week, as you might call this series of 3 stories, because today we're going to be talking about the time that I fell off of a truck and had to get stitches in my chin. So, let's get right into that. But this was a time that I had a little less facial hair, and I used to really not like facial hair, but then it grew on me.
Zach's back with another attack, so come on in and just relax. Hit subscribe and join the fun. You're Zach to the future now, son.
What's up, YouTube? Zach's back with another attack, and today we're going to be talking about the time that I fell off of a truck. Now, here's how that story goes. I used to be in show choir in high school, and it was a bunch of crazy people, and it was kind of a cool thing in the high school I was in. Some schools it's a little nerdier, but in my school, a lot of the coolest people were in show choir, and we were way better than the football team. We won state numerous times, whereas our football team could barely win one game. So, after one of our practices, there was a guy who was driving his truck, and my brother and some of his friends, and I was there too, we were waiting to get picked up to go home. And a guy drove by with his truck and said to hop on, so everybody went in, jumped onto the bed of the truck. Now, once he started moving very slowly, everybody got off except for me. And he continued to drive his truck around the parking lot. Now, he picked up some speed, and he was probably going about 30 miles an hour and turned a corner, and I slipped off. I was actually trying to climb inside of the bed of the truck, but just hanging on to the side as I tried to pull myself up, I lost my grip and I fell off of the truck. Now, since he was turning a corner and going pretty fast, I immediately fell down. There was a concrete block that was surrounding a grassy area in the parking lot, and I smashed into it and rolled off, started rolling across the parking lot, and I jumped up and I was like, woo! And everybody on the other side of the parking lot was just like, and I was just like, yeah, that was fun, guys, yeah! And they're just like, you're bleeding everywhere. And I look down and I'm like, uh-oh. And walk back to where they're all at, and basically a ride shows up, takes us all home. I'm pretty sure she offered to take me to the hospital, but I said no. I felt fine at the time. So we went back to our house, and I decided to take a shower, see if that would help at all, especially because I was bloody all over. Sorry for the gross details. And I got in the shower and just started taking a shower, but blood was still just running all down my face. At first I didn't even know where it was coming from because there was so much blood, and I was pretty beaten up from this, so I couldn't tell exactly what happened, where everything was hurt. And as I was taking a shower, just more and more blood was draining from my body, and I didn't know what was going on. I ended up getting out of the shower, and I took a look in the mirror, and my chin was just hanging open. And in my head, I said, that's probably not good. Probably not good. And so I went out to where my brother and his friends were in the living room, and I said, guys, I think maybe I should go to the hospital. My chin's hanging open. And what they did is they took a look at it, and then took a flashlight and shined it in my eyes and said, his pupils aren't dilated. He's not got a concussion. He's fine. You don't need to go to the hospital. And I believed them. I decided that was probably the right answer. They knew better than I did. They were older, and so I didn't go to the hospital. I called my mom and I let her know what happened, but I told her I was fine. She was freaking out a little bit, but she said, "Are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? I can leave work right now. We'll go to the hospital." And I said, "Yeah, no, my pupils aren't dilated. I don't have a concussion. I'm fine. We're good. We're good." And so I continued to go about my business, pretending like everything was fine. But when my parents got home that day, they took one look at me. Within 30 seconds of walking in the door and taking a look at me, they were like, "Get in the car, we're going to the hospital." And of course, they were making fun of my brother and his friends a little bit for thinking that everything was okay and trying to play doctor. And of course, they made fun of me for believing them when I had my chin hanging open. So I went to the hospital, went to the emergency room, and I had never gotten stitches before. This is my first experience with that, so that was definitely a little crazy. But they gave me stitches and sent me on my way. And I got free Arby's out of it, so that was fun. And I got to miss a few days of school, so that was fun. But there was a lot of road rash all over my body. Of course, I had to deal with stitches in my chin, and there's still a little patch that doesn't grow fully. Of course, the rest of the beard kind of covers it, but if you take a close look, there is a little bald patch from where I got those stitches. If you want to know why my brother had friends over that day, if you want to know what they were doing in the living room when I came out of the shower, here's a little clip of what they were doing.
Action.
Hi. We're the worst guitar players ever.
This song is dedicated to that pussy.
Cat.
And Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man, of course.
Spider-Man. 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, kitty! Yeah! Oh, kitty! Yeah! Oh, kitty! And Spider-Man! Yeah! Kitty! Kitty! Spider-Man! Spider-Man! Kitty! Kitty!
You guys are the worst guitar players ever.
Yeah!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
So guys, I guess that I am accident or almost being murdered prone. Things can get a little crazy in my life, and things like that don't happen every day, but I do have a few crazy stories like that. And there's a few more that maybe I'll tell someday on this channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so when I do tell those stories you don't miss them. And in the meantime, guys, I'm Zach. Don't you do crack, and I will catch you in the future.